up? What's going on, everybody? How you doing out there this evening? I am Lee Black. Welcome to another edition of Real Talk for Real Men this Saturday. So hopefully you're having a fantastic weekend in general. I am the host of the show, and on Saturdays we kind of keep it light, keep it a little soft. So hopefully you're having a good weekend. You can find my show on TFG under the banner of Ratchet of Uncut on YouTube and Facebook. So we're going to jump into the show, have a little fun today. It's Saturday. We're going to keep it really, really loose. So hopefully you enjoy the show today. I'm going to bring in my co-host from Memphis. This is Tasha. What's going on, McMack?
What's going on, Black? How you doing?
I'm doing okay. Getting my bearings underneath me today. It's been one of these lazy sleeping days, so I'm sipping on coffee, getting a late start. But I'm getting there.
Okay.
How about yourself?
I just woke up like 15 minutes ago, so
I can tell. You know what? But that's the beautiful thing about the weekend. You got to get out of it what you want. It be long weeks, so that's why we try to keep it light. So I appreciate you showing up, sweetheart. So we're gonna have a little fun and then let everybody get back to their weekend.
Absolutely, yeah.
I got my brother in the house, Mr. Kenny. What's going on, Ken?
What's up? My favorite TV host on YouTube, boy. Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring this energy up, man. This is you done flipped the script from Wednesday. You on here about to turn cartwheels Wednesday. Today you about to go to sleep. We gotta bring this energy up. Come on, player.
I'm an old man. Once they get that out of me, I have to recuperate. It ain't them same old days. I tell you. Now actually I feel good, but I'm building my energy up. I slept all day. I got off work and I kind of worked and did all my chores and everything last night. And so today I slept and just got back from the grocery store about an hour ago, pick up last minute things. But I actually feel good. Now, the good news is that my energy level is only going to go up for the rest of the night. So, but I'm getting there.
Right. Miss Tasha, I didn't mean to leave you out, beautiful lady. I hope you're doing well too. We got to get your energy up, and then I know you in Memphis. We're not gonna talk about what the city of Memphis is going on right now, but we're gonna keep it light. But
yes, sir.
Hope all is good in Memphis for you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So we're gonna talk about today, and if it's just the three of us, that's fine. You know how we do it. We're gonna keep it light. I wanted to talk about dating, some more dating advice. And I picked my topics. You know what was odd to me when I look around? Lisa Ray, sexy Lisa Ray from the Players Cup. She got a show getting ready to debut in February, like a dating show. And I watch a lot of stuff on TV One, and they got these dating stuff. Me and Tasha, sometimes we be on the phone with each other, watching these 40-somethings date and stuff. And it's just so ridiculous. It's just so funny, but they got all of these dating things. And it got me to thinking that, with Valentine's Day coming, rich people, famous people, they're just like us. They're struggling just like us, to find that right mate, that right person. And ironically, they say misery loves company. I kind of feel good about that. Is that wrong?
Hey, I had never heard that before, brother, but I guess if it works for you, it works for you. Okay.
Because, you can internalize and say to yourself, well, you know what? I'm older, I'm fatter, I'm this and that. But then it kind of brings me a little bit of comfort. I'm so sorry, but I feel this way. But it brings me a little bit of comfort when I think about these people are rich, they're famous, and they're struggling the same way. Nia Long just said recently that she's got her eye on somebody. So right after the whole Emi Udoka thing, and again, so she's looking, what's the lady that was in Empire? What's the actress? What's her name? Taraji Henson. She struggled like shit finding somebody. She's like, unhappy. And I just love to live in their unhappiness because it makes me feel kind of no.
It just kind of reinforces that even having money isn't always the answer. That's the whole thing. It just makes them human. That's it. True. Just makes them like, okay, y'all regular too.
It really does. It really and truly does. So that's why I've been kind of really getting back to my roots, because it also gives me hope that maybe I'll find somebody. Who knows? Maybe I'm not when you're not looking. So my favorite couple is not on tonight. So, we miss you guys, the postings. But we're going to be talking about TikTok dating advice. So I pulled up advice for women, advice for men. I haven't looked at any of the little snippets of the videos. So we're just going to kind of play these and kind of put them under the microscope and see if they apply to us personally or just in general what we think about dating and things of that nature. And we'll kind of go that way. So we'll kind of do maybe a little bit of either I'll alter or I might do a couple of women advice for women and a couple of advice for men, and we'll kind of talk. So Tasha, you're going to represent the women's opinions on here, so we're going to appreciate you
Right.
because my sister Sherry can't be here. She's attending a family event, but she said the greatest thing to me today when she woke me up this afternoon. My sister Sherry, big head Sherry, she called me and she says, brother, she said, I had to check on you. She said, because if you ain't okay, I'm not okay. That was like the greatest, coolest thing.
Most definitely.
You know what I'm saying? That was like the coolest thing, for somebody to say to you, you know what I'm saying? That's like the coolest thing. So I love you, sis. I love you. I love you. So
yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, that was like cool. And it's like, how you hear it, but it doesn't resonate until the call is over. Because she woke me up and I was like, oh no, I'm good, sis, blah, blah, blah. And then, she said, okay, just want to make sure. And then it hit me afterward, like, wow, that's like the coolest thing that somebody could say. So
it is for real.
Yeah, love that. We're gonna jump into this. So I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna see what this young lady has to say. All right, so I thought I had to click a thing to okay, did I do that right? Let's see. Share screen. Why is it not picking up my other thing? Okay, there it is. There we go. Okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good. So let's play this first, young lady.
I recently came across one of the best
Can y'all hear it too?
nuggets of dating advice I had ever read, ever. And I really wanted to share it. It's from a private Facebook group that I'm in. But what she said really resonated with me and validated kind of my current approach to dating that I had been doubting a little bit recently. I also think this advice could apply to a lot of other things outside of dating and outside of dating for women, probably to anyone in their 20s too. So I just wanted to read it to you guys. The question is, women in their 40s and 50s, what's the biggest piece of dating advice you can give to women in their 20s? Stop trying to date to get married. Date to have fun. Date to get to know someone. But most of all, date to get to know yourself. Create a big life for yourself. Go to therapy. Heal your childhood wounds. Have lovers. Explore your sexuality. Focus on adding pleasure into your life and love into your heart without desperately seeking for a partner to complete you. No one else is going to complete you. You complete yourself. You are whole all by yourself. So love yourself. Love yourself so much you know your boundaries. Love yourself so much that you don't internalize other people's behavior and make it about you. It's not. It's about them. Heal your wounds. Marriage and kids is one way to add love and joy into your life, but it is by no means the best way or the only way. Stop trying to lock it down within 2 months or even 6. Life is long. Enjoy it. Meet different people. Codependency isn't love. Integrity is. Love yourself and choose someone who also loves themselves. Stop trying to save or fix or convince someone else. You are divine energy and pure love. Focus on connecting to the parts of yourself you are embarrassed or ashamed about. Those places of you need your love much more than a borderline ugly guy who doesn't know how to do his laundry and is too lost to find his way without you turning into his mother. When people show you who they are, believe them. The more you overcompensate for someone else, the less energy you have for yourself. It's not their fault if you get lost in them, it's yours. Take responsibility and accountability for your own healing, and you will live a life filled with joy, passion, and fulfillment. All I just want to say is that I wish I had someone to tell me this years ago. Years ago.
Wow. Okay, that was a lot to absorb. And now supposedly these were women in their 40s and 50s giving this advice to women in their 20s, but I think it was so much there. Anyway, what do you any parts of that you can pluck out? What do you take from it?
I let Tasha go. She's the residential woman on the panel tonight. What did you think about that advice?
To me, it sounds like some pretty good advice. To me, it sounds like some pretty good advice. One thing I can say is that um, it's definitely generational. Because I do think that if it was women older than that, I think the advice may be a little different. But I agree with majority of that list. And I know that those are also a lot of talking points that are often recycled on a lot of, like social media podcasts about relationships. And I know that some people can find faults and issues with it, and slapping it with the label of modern feminism and things like that. But I do think that it is sound advice. And what stands out to me the most, and to me most importantly, that I think that people often, kind of overlook is focusing on yourself and being, what I took from it was just being the best version of yourself, because you can't do that. You can't expect somebody else to do that for you. So I like that.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What do you say, Brother Kenny?
I think all those. I mean, I think there was a lot of good advice for women in their 20s. I think the one that probably stood out for me the most was dating just to have fun. Just date to have fun with no expectations. I think now you see everybody. I don't know if you guys see it all through social media. Everybody says date with the purpose.
Right.
Everybody, that's the new slogan. Well, I'm dating with a purpose. Well, to me now you're setting yourself up that you got this particular list that it got to be done this way, and you're not even enjoying the ride. It's like you're taking a ride, but you're not even stopping to smelling the roses because you say you got this purpose. So I think that was one of the things that stood out, that she said that for women, just date. I mean, date to have fun. I mean, just see where it goes. Don't put all that pressure on. You got to have an engagement, or I got to get married at a certain time. Just enjoy the moment. And the other one was the sexuality thing. I think, in our world that we live in, women get labeled as being thoughts if they really sexual. And she was like, be cool and live in your sexuality and don't be ashamed of it, So those are the two things that kind of stood out to me in that list.
Okay. I love it. I love it. Look, I'm with you guys. I loved everything she said. All the advice that was read, I should say.
Right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that advice could go for men too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
As I'm listening to this, I've never actually that advice that was delivered in that 2-minute window.
Mhm.
I think people should frame that shit, and that should become like a mantra to play, because there's so much that was packed in there that I really loved. And Tasha, you made a point that I agree with you 1,000% on, how it's generational. Here
Mhm.
I am, a 55-year-old man. Let me tell you why I love what you said there. Because for me, if women when they're younger, if they took that to heart, by the time they got to a man my age, I think it would make for much better experiences, because if they took that advice, now they're not looking for somebody else to complete them, to make them happy. To your point, Brother Kenny, they've already explored their sexuality, because I've said, even Tasha's heard me say this many times before, at this stage of my life, I wouldn't want to date someone sexually inexperienced. Now, I'm not saying that, this is all jokes aside. I'm not saying I want them to have been a hoe, but I
Mhm.
do want them to have experienced enough things that by the time they get to me, they don't feel like they're missing anything out there. Because that is what cost me my marriage. On a serious note, is that there were things that, how, when I don't know if you've experienced this, if you've been with somebody and you heard the expression, the grass ain't greener, when you got somebody that's wondering what else might be out there, it's a problem. It's a real problem, and something you can't fix that, because they don't know what's not out there. And too many times people step outside of the relationship to find out, oh wow, it wasn't as green or whatever. So I do want somebody that, to this advice, has explored all the things they say they want to explore. I don't care about your past, So if in college you want to experiment with other girls or whatever, and you've done your freakiest things, I do want, by the time you get to me, for you to be kind of settled. Now, here's where I'm gonna disagree with one point for me, Kenny. At this stage of my life, I have to date intentionally. You know, for
I
them,
get that.
that's great. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get
And
that.
that's because we said, like on the other show, I got less time behind me than I got in front of me at this stage.
Yeah.
So in that sense, Tasha hates that I say that, but
I know she was hating when we were saying
right,
that, but
you
it's
know,
true.
I'm not saying we're dying, Tasha, but I'm just saying, like, okay, so I'm gonna say it a different way, Tasha. You tell me if I'm wrong. We work all of us. We work all the time, right? And we got other things. When we get off, we don't have a whole lot of time to waste. This is kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You know, so like we were talking about this a little bit on the last show. I don't have the time, the energy, and patience to meet you out just to kick it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do something intentional. That where is this going? I'm not saying it has to be marching down the aisle of marriage, but it needs to be heading somewhere for me anyway. Does that make sense?
No, I get it.
No, it does, but that's because, you know, like in that the whole thing with the dating intentionally, of course, in your 20s, I don't think that you have to date intentionally in your 20s.
Yes,
right. I agree.
But I'm talking about me.
Yeah, right. And and I think often like casual dating does get like this bad rap or whatever, because a lot of people think that just because you are dating someone, that number one, that you think that it's, you know, that you're automatically sleeping with them, instead of it just being, maybe it's just that one time you date them and you never see them
That's
again.
it. Mm-hmm.
Very true.
And
Very
it's okay, because how are you going to learn what you like or don't like?
Right.
So.
Oh God, I love that point. Because too many people, Tasha, especially I see with young women, if I'm dating, then I'm locked into this thing, and you shouldn't have to be.
No, that is how you set yourself up for disappointment, because every encounter that you have isn't going to lead to a fulfilling relationship. Maybe it leads to a friendship. Maybe it's just a business situation, you know, and it's okay.
That's okay. Right. I agree.
I love it. We're going to flip on the other side and see what the dating advice from men, you know. And I was very specific in my search, because when I looked up dating for men, they actually had a dating specific for a black man. So I selected that one. So, Brother Kenny, I don't know what they're going to say for us.
I'm about to put my seatbelt. I'm about to put my seatbelt on. About to strap in. See what's going on. Okay.
So, Tasha, we're going to need your views on this, sweetheart, too, you know.
I'll bring my black side this time. Okay.
yes, ma'am. We need it. All right. Let's see.
Man, listen. Sis, if you're trying to find your husband, your king, or your next boo thing, I know you don't want to hear this, but you're going to have to go out alone. By yourself, solo dolo, one is a magical number. The places where men approach me the most are Lowe's and Home Depot, baby. I don't care if you don't have any home renovations. You got questions and they got answers. Second, you want to find yourself at the local sports bar and you want to sit at the bar by yourself. I know you love your girlfriends. You see, this is one of my girlfriends, Queen. We had brunch today. I loved it, but I had to leave because men are least likely to approach women in groups. When you're alone, baby, he has the type of confidence to slide up and ask you your name. And if you reject him, honey, nobody is there to witness it. I get approached 10 times more when I'm by myself at these places. And please be safe about it. Learn how to say no. Put a little mace in the pocket and let your people know where you are. Ladies, have you ever been alone and the guys pulled up in large numbers? Tell me in the comments below. And follow me on this journey as I seek to be an asset, marry an asset, and make asset baby.
That was more interesting than I thought.
She's a
what
Southern
belle.
She from Alabama or Texas or somewhere. She's a Southern belle. I know that for sure. She got that Southern accent, so she's a Southerner. She was on point. She was definitely on point. And I tell women that all the time. I had single women friends. They say, where can I meet men at? I say, you can first place, go to a sports bar. Go by yourself. Sit somewhere where you can be seen. I guarantee you'll meet men there at a sports bar. And she was right, like Home Depot and stuff like that. She was on point. Nothing. She told the truth and everything she just said in that.
Okay. Talk to me. I'm gonna save you for last, so you can bring the female point of view in here. Let me tell you what I really liked about that. It was things that I kind of know, but I forgot. Sometimes we need refreshers. Tasha knows this about me all the time. I roll alone anyway, but you know where my destinations have been over the last probably 7 years? Grocery stores. And when she said Lowe's and Home Depot, what's crazy and it just resonated with me, but I almost feel like I have to have a reason to go in those stores, you know, to be looking for something very, very specific. Like when you first move in your apartment or house or something, and I don't know, shit, you're looking for paint or something. But you know what? Why I really like what she said, it made sense to me in the sense that when I have been in there, it's such a large place. And I used to work for Lowe's before. And I worked for Home Garden. So I worked in the lawn and garden department. I think it is a great place that I'm going to start visiting to maybe strike up a conversation with somebody, because through that whole thing, you know what I loved about, she said, like a woman being alone. It's very intimidating to me to be somewhere and see women in a group. There's that fear that if you approach them, it's not going to be received the right way, and they're going to say something disrespectful. And then my mouth being what it is, I'm going to say something disrespectful back. I like that what she was talking about. Those are places of probably very disarming, you know, to where even if you walked up and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Blah blah blah. Maybe the conversation it's not as distracting, you know, whatever. So I'm going to start maybe making a trip to those places a little bit. And then of course I knew about the sports bar, but that's my thing, you know. How often do you see women sitting at a sports bar alone? So that's where I said it's intimidating.
Yeah, it happens more often than not, and that's the advice I've given every woman that's saying that they want to meet men and where can they meet them. I said go to a sports bar and go by yourself. Don't go with a whole crew, because most men we're not going to approach if you with a whole group. So if you go by yourself, sit at the bar, I guarantee you there's going to be some conversations had.
Absolutely. What's going on, Antoine? How you doing, fam? Good to see you.
Hey, what up, Antoine?
You know, and so Tasha, I want to get your take on this, but even before you give your take on what was said, I gotta ask you as a woman, if you were in a Home Depot or a Lowe's, how would it be received? How would you receive it if a guy approached you to, I'm not talking about all aggressively or nothing like that, but just showed an interest? How would that go over?
I would perceive it well, you know, because I've been, I've always heard about the Home Depot and Lowe's, but it's for specific times when you go. Like you can't go like on Saturday, like during the day and stuff like that, because that's a man that has like a family or a wife or something, honeydew Liz kind of deal. You go on a, Friday nights.
Okay.
Single men who ain't got nothing, early in the morning, where the contractors and the general contractors, when they have to come in before work. I want somebody who's going to build me my dream house. So when it's time for me to get back out there, that's the place I'm going to be going.
Wow.
It's like Home Depot or Lowe's. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what's up.
Yo,
that makes sense.
Yeah, you like giving me some ideas, Big Mac. You giving me some ideas. Do you know I have a freaking Home Depot not even 5 minutes from me?
There you go. And I got to give a shout out to my cousin, Charles Henderson. He used to work at Home Depot, and that's where he met his wife.
Whoa.
She came in the Home Depots, and he ended up starting to help her look for something. And now they've been married, 17 years, I think. And they met at Home Depot because he was working there.
Y'all, I got here on my arm because I swear to God, again, Tasha is my best friend, so she can burn this. I just am no longer into the sports bar scene. When I was working in an office last time, we used to go every Friday, about a couple times. I'm going to start going to like Home Depot or whatever, because I do want to meet somebody, but it's just not happening at the little spots I go to. And maybe that'll be somewhere different. And Tasha, you just gave me a new way to look at it, so it might not be a Saturday morning, like you said, but
even for men, also another place for y'all to meet women, Target, not Walmart, Target.
Target's also 5 minutes from me. Why do you say that?
Why Target? Why Target?
Yeah, that's
because we are always in there shopping for shit that we ain't got no business shopping for.
Okay.
And the design of Target, how they have it laid out, like with the major aisle, like that goes around the whole store.
That's a good point.
You know, like there, and go to specific aisles. You may not need anything from the candle aisle. Go down there. You'll find some women, you know, smell. It's like, what do you think? You could, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Big Mac, thanks. And I'm with you, Antoine. You say Tasha got a plan, but thank you. You know what?
Or even when you go somewhere to like, or go to a restaurant. Whenever I do go, you know, go out to a restaurant, I don't have a problem going places by myself, like going to like restaurants and different things. But even if I go just a place like a to-go order, I'll always sit at the bar and I'll always have a drink while I wait for my food.
I remember you telling me that just the other night, you know. And oh man, great advice. Great advice. I'm trying to get out of my box. So like I went the other night to Hop Dottie to buy some burgers, and Tasha E was like, you know, Black, are you gonna sit at the bar and have a drink? You know, and I sat at the table area and I sucked up my milkshake. But you know what? This is good advice, you know. All right.
Right. When we've been out the game so long, you kind of done forgot, huh, brother?
I really have. You know, when you're out of practice, and the sad part, you tend to start to give up a little bit and just kind of resign yourself to, well, you know, I guess I ain't gonna find nobody if they don't find me. I live in a beautiful apartment community, but I don't explore it. I've never been to the pool area here. They have a lot of events here. I don't know. I got to do better. I got to do better. Anyway,
you will.
All right, let's jump back to women's. Man, okay. I'm loving it already. All right, let's jump back to what these ladies have to say. She looks cute.
If you are a woman and you are single and dating, this message is for you. Ladies, stop meeting a guy that you really like and deciding that you are going to fall back from all of the other guys that you're talking to. I'm telling you, don't do it. That is how you set yourself up to be played. I understand that as women, we are naturally one man kind of creatures. I get that. And I know we want to focus all of our attention on one guy when we find a guy that we really like, because that's just naturally who we are as women. Men tend to do a much better job than women at keeping their options open. They don't want to settle down and wife up a woman until they make sure that they've sampled everything out there that they possibly can, and they know for a fact this is the one. Whereas women, we tend to want to do it quick. You have to understand that if you are single and you're talking to a guy that you really like, and he has not done the task of coming to you correctly and asking you for something monogamous, then you have every right to date other people. Fact, you should actively be dating other people, because I'm going to tell you what could possibly happen and what you're setting yourself up for. You meet Jason and you really like Jason. So you naturally stop texting Michael and Harry and Larry and all these other guys that you're talking to, because you are just naturally crushing so hard on Jason, right? But then Jason runs off and meets Ashley, and he decides, you know what? Ashley is actually the person that I want to be monogamous with. So now you don't got nobody. You have to date the right way. And if a man has not sat down and given you the impression that he wants something monogamous with you, then you have to keep all of your options open and never put all of your eggs in one basket. A lot of women have a bad habit of doing that whenever they come across a guy that they really like. And then when it doesn't work out, they're lost and confused and discouraged from dating. But it's not the dating that's the problem. It's the fact that you're not dating correctly. If you're single and dating, then do just that. Date. Go out with different guys. Play the field. Just because you come across a guy that you really like doesn't mean that the whole rest of your life has to be put on pause. If you are...
Okay. She went a little deeper into what we kind of already talked about.
And she went where that's what Tasha was talking about. I mean, I think Tasha pretty much said exactly what this woman just said just a few minutes ago. And I get it. I get it. As a man, I get it.
I do too. And what I like about it, she wasn't saying it in a nasty way, wasn't disrespectful
Right.
to men.
Right. Right.
She didn't take on the whole persona. Hear me roar, I am woman, and we got the power.
Right.
She was giving sage, sound advice to single women for keeping their options open. I love the fact that she said, we do it, men do it. And she gave real life scenario of what really can happen, you know. And I've actually been, I've seen that in real life, you know, where women will do that and they'll cut off everybody, and then all of a sudden they're lost and confused because the guy didn't choose them. And yeah, and the biggest point stick to me, I'm sorry, Charles, I should have came to you second, but one of the biggest things that stuck out to me is she says, unless the guy comes to you and asks for something monogamous. I thought that was so important. I thought that was so important to say, because you can't assume that you know.
Right.
So I like that. Tasha, I'm sorry if I cut you off, sweetheart.
No. You've covered it. But here's the thing, though. One thing that I've been seeing is that but a lot of guys, they're not doing that whole thing of coming to you and saying and asking, you know, and saying, okay, well, let's do this. This is what I want. And I think that that's another reason what's wrong with the dating pool, because you have two people who have two different definitions of what or outlooks or opinions of what they really are. And there's not like a general understanding, because she never went to him, he never went to her, and they never had this conversation.
Okay.
So, because some people think that just because you do go out on one date with them, oh, we go together. No, we don't go together. Okay.
On that note, let me ask a question. Again, Kenny and I are the same age group, and I know, Tasha, you date a little bit younger. Do you think that part of it is generational? Because I want to ask Brother Kenny, in scenarios you've been in, when you've been in a dating situation and then you get to the point where do you go to the woman and say, okay, well, look, this is where we're headed. Now I want to be exclusive. So do you do that, Kenny? And then Tasha, do you think that's a generational thing, that older guys do that and young guys don't? Or you think across the board, men just don't do it?
Who do you want to go first?
Either one, whoever want to.
I'm gonna let the ladies first. I'm gonna let Tasha go first.
Oh, this is so funny. I don't think a lot of men do it. And in this case, generationally, I don't think it really matters. And why it's funny is the last guy I was dating, like we went out, a couple weeks had gone by, and he's always around, always at my house and different things. And finally I was like, wait, are we dating? Like, are we together? Because I gotta know, like, what is this?
Right.
But for him, he was never gonna say it.
Wow.
So.
Wow. Okay. What you say, Brother Kenny? I'm thinking about myself here.
I'm thinking about myself. I can honestly say I've only did that one time in my life with my ex-wife. Peace be upon her. I say, hey, you and I together now. You know that, right? That's the only time I've ever done that in my life. All the other times, we just dealing with each other. I ain't never bring it up. If she didn't bring it up, I ain't bring it up.
Wow.
So this is definitely, this has nothing to do with generations or age. For men, most men, we just don't do that.
You guys, I don't doubt they're telling the truth, but I'm different then.
Okay.
I'm different then. I dated, obviously, of course, but when I found myself in a situation where I knew it was getting deeper, I was catching feelings, as they say, kind of deal. To protect myself, that's when I had to sit down. That's when I had to sit down. I don't know if that's I don't know what that is. Then I don't know what that is, but long as it's just casual, you're right. I could care less. But I'm sitting here thinking about the few times where I was dating somebody for real. It was the sit down, the figurative sit down. Okay, so look, let me talk to you about something. We've been kind of hanging out for a while now. So what's going on? You see, for me, it was at that point, and I'm not going to even name names, but in my head, I remember having those conversations. Because I think for me, I didn't want to get embarrassed. I didn't want to be embarrassed. I didn't want to be, now I'm feeling something for you, and I pull up at the crib at your house or something to come pick you up or hang out, and now I'm caught. I don't like being embarrassed like that. I don't want to be.
Hey,
go ahead, brother Kitty.
Hey, brother, that has happened to me, man. I'll be honest with you.
I can't deal with that, man.
But you know what? I could not feel some type of way because guess what?
Okay.
Just like you said, we did not sit down and have that conversation. Is what are we? So I really couldn't be mad. I'm gonna be honest with you. I was feeling some type of way,
right?
But I had to tuck my tail and get in the car and take my ass on because
I swear I can't deal with that.
That's on me. I mean, if I wanted more, I should have said something. The other person didn't. We didn't really sit down and have that talk, so I couldn't be mad, you know. So it was what it was. So
I need to be in control, and that's when I would be in a place of uncertainty, and I don't have no control over that.
Right.
I need to feel in control, and that for me is I can't take that chance. What's up, DJ? DJ said, "Man,
what up,
we
DJ?
Are not an item."
DJ, I believe I can hear you say it. I believe that, DJ. Knowing you, I'm sure you. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
But for that specific reason, though, like that's why even as a woman, like I gotta know because I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want you spazzing on me because you thought we were together and I didn't know. So that's why, you know, for everyone's safety and everyone's feelings, let's go ahead and just get this out here.
Because you're right, because dudes will, I mean, we don't talk about it. And I think Black, I agree with you. I think if you really feeling somebody, you really should say, hey, look, I'm going to be, what are we? I need to know. Because I'm feeling this. If you're not, let me know. Because that way there's no miscommunication. There ain't nothing lost, man. If you know, so it's, I don't know, it's crazy.
It really is, but I needed to know. And then that way, if it wasn't reciprocated, then let me start to pull all my feelings back out of it. At that point, you know, thank God that didn't happen, you know, but let's, you know, because now y'all understand why I've always had my little rules, like don't get caught, blah, 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 blah. Because once I'm vested in it now, don't embarrass me.
Let me ask you guys this: Does it make any difference if you do it through a text message? Say for instance, you really feeling somebody and you pour your heart out through a text message. Does that
never gonna happen? Never gonna happen.
You'll get blocked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. You're not gonna get blocked, but that's not a conversation to like have over text message,
right?
And honestly, not even. I would even say not even over the phone. This is like we need to. While we're out on a date or something, or just while we're hanging out, I need to look at you. I need to read your body language. I need all that. So
I'm gonna give y'all even more real talk. DJ says, and we said real talk. He said these days it just makes sense to keep your feelings quiet. Men are ruthless these days. You're right, my brother.
You're right.
You're right,
DJ.
my brother.
I definitely agree with that.
So for that reason, guess when I had those conversations? This was pillow talk. That's when it happened. This was pillow talk. I asked my wife to marry me, and this was she wouldn't screw, but this was pillow talk. This was laying up watching Arsenio Hall, and I knew in that moment. It was that moment where she had been sneaking and spending the night anyway. We were Jehovah's Witnesses, and we weren't supposed to be doing this.
right.
But we did. She wouldn't give up the goods. But I swear to God, you know, so she's like sneaking over, and I as clear as I can remember yesterday, and I'm like, Arsenio, and I just knew in that moment, like, okay, well, damn, she's the one. And I swear to God, I leaned over and I said, well, you know, you want to get married? I mean, it wasn't romantic or nothing like that, but that's what happened. I'm serious.
But you know what's Black? We brothers, bro. That's kind of how it happened with me and my ex-wife, bro. It wasn't really pillow talk. It was just kind of like, I just looked at her and said, you want to get married? And it was kind of like, she's like, okay. And we went down to the Justice of the Peace and got married.
Yo, that's my brother right there. That's my brother. But but to your point, this is a face-to-face. This ain't no texting. This ain't no call.
Yeah.
You need to be right there so I can read all of that right there. What's really real.
No, I would have told both you motherfuckers no. You want to get married? Like, do I want to get up and get you a piece of cake? No. Give me some effort. But you know something? I know that's like a man thing because Okay, I have been proposed to a couple of times, and it was so like that. Like, so like we've known each other for like 2 weeks. What do you think about getting married? I don't even know your last name. I'm not
Damn.
dating
Wait,
you.
it wasn't 2 weeks. It wasn't 2 weeks for me
Damn.
and my wife. It was a year. We had knew each other for a year.
But
me
I'm
and my
saying
wife.
it's so casual, just like you just just, hey, what do you want to eat? Oh, by the way, did you want to get married? No, yes, I'm just
So
that's kind
Now
of
what
how
do
it
y'all
is.
think of these elaborate celebrations then you see on social media where the guy has been done all this prepared stuff? That's why when I look at that, that's not realistic to me.
I'm not saying it to that magnitude to
No,
where
I'm
it
asking
even
you,
has
what do you
to be
think
that
about it?
big.
Right.
Where it's like
Yeah,
that.
do you
No,
like that? Do you like that?
I don't. But please just put just a little bit more,
Gotcha.
a little bit more
More
thought
effort, little
into
thought and
it.
effort.
Right,
I guess.
right.
Yeah, like don't put your socks on, your shoes. Like don't be asking me. We just
I hear
your
you,
dick
Tasha,
still
but
wet. You know what I mean? Like don't do that.
in apology, I mean, for me and Black, you got to remember we were in our early 20s. So when we
Absolutely. Good point.
It wasn't like
Good point.
I wouldn't have done that if I was in my
Good point.
30s.
He's right. He is right.
Yeah, we were in our early 20s.
Good point, my brother. So. Yeah, we know no better.
Don't do that.
DJ say, Kenny and Black, you want to get married?
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Can you make me a sandwich now?
Exactly. Casual. No, it's like when she said no. Well, that's okay. Will you change the laundry into the dryer? No.
Right. That's crazy.
Hey,
that's kind of how it went down too, DJ. That's kind of how it went down. To be honest with you.
For real. It was so casual, and that was it.
I would think I see that. That's why I have trust issues. I'd be like, quit playing, and I would change the subject. Quit playing.
Okay. I can see that. Yeah, but Kenny, I'm glad you saved us. We was 20s. We was in our 20s.
So those that's watching this, we weren't in our 30s doing that. We was in our early 20s when we did that. So.
Absolutely. I might put a little bit more effort into it now, Tasha.
Wipe the kitchen counter off for me, something. Let me sit up, okay?
Damn. I might do a little bit better. All right, for Black men again.
Men like me, we don't like big women.
Every other group of men are allowed to have standards for themselves, but we're the only group of men who shame each other for having standards and take on the trash of every other community of women. And we encourage our women to be gigantic. When is this going to stop? I saw all these dudes coming at this dude, questioning his sexuality because he wants a woman that is in shape and not obese. Do Chinese men accept obese women? Do any other group of men across the world make that the standard? But us. No, we're the laughing stock of the world when it comes to the dating market. We're seen as easy marks, stepdaddies, chumps, simps, and white knights. The madness has to stop right now. Y'all need to be ashamed of yourselves.
Okay, that was an interesting hot take there.
Oh, wow.
I'm going last on this one.
Yikes.
No, y'all two got to go first.
Okay. Kenny, you want me to go or you want to go?
I'll go. You the host. I'll go. I want all the women that's gonna watch this later, that's watching now. The comments that came out of that brother's mouth does not reflect my opinion of Black women whatsoever. My what he liked, but you ain't got to put down Black women to do that. Just say, I have a preference. This is what I like. I think all Black women are cool, but this is what I like. Don't go in on Black women like that because that ain't what you like. No, the way his delivering his message was all whack. So I can't rock with that. So anyway,
I'm with you, and this is all seriousness. I'm being as serious as I can be. I swear to God, on the souls of my two brothers, me and my sister had this conversation last night. We were talking about weight. We weren't, and this wasn't a dating scenario. We were talking about, but we were actually talking about weight and things like that. I think we were kind of talking about. She asked, "Well, how did I see her? Or how did I describe her?" As blah 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 blah. And I was telling her that weight and age are no longer factors, when we look at the dating scene. 20 years ago, age used to matter. If you saw a 50-something-year-old, with a 20-year-old, the eyebrows went up. You hardly ever hear anybody talk about age anymore. People date all across the spectrum. Weight is the same thing, being a obese man, it actually hurt me in the sense that as I got bigger, I wasn't getting turned down. Maybe had that happened, maybe it would have made a bigger impact on me to say, damn, I gotta stay slim. But being that it never impeded me dating in any kind of way, and then even for women, there are many men attracted to overweight women. I don't agree with nothing he said. Now, I don't know what circle he's running in where they question a man's sexuality if he like a big woman. All we gotta do is look at Lizzo. I joke a lot of times, but all we gotta do is look at Lizzo. There's somebody out there. Hell, Lizzo doing a hell of a lot better than I am. You know what I'm saying? There's big women doing a hell of a lot better than I am. And so people, this is where I'm at with this. People like what they like when they like it. I believe that all across the board. So I joke a lot of times, but I can't look at somebody and say, well, she's too skinny or she's too fat or he's too this or people like what they like, and I really do. Once we get past the image shit, because that's fake shit, the muscle bound guys and the outside women. I can walk outside right now. You see people of all shapes, sizes, whatever. They're with somebody. They're doing a shit lot better than I am. So somebody finds them attractive. So I don't agree with what he said.
Let me add one thing before Tasha go. Black, and I would say this on this subject, what this brother was saying. Black men are the only men that put down their black women like that. I don't see white men say that about their white women. Maybe not, they too skinny. I don't see Chinese, Asian men. I don't see black men are the only ones that go in and go be ruthless and be hard on our sisters like that. And
vice versa, though, Kenny,
like
and vice versa,
and vice versa too.
And vice versa.
Yeah,
So I agree with you 1,000%. Yeah. Tasha, bring us home,
go
but
ahead.
I wanted to Hannah say, hey y'all, sorry, just got done cooking.
Hey, what's up, Hannah? How you doing?
You and Brother Bert, and she said she'll be on Wednesday. Looking forward to it. Tasha, what do you think about what he had to say?
You can like what you like without being disrespectful. If you, because I've seen the original and then that stitch, I've seen the stitch. The guy who stitched it, who was talking like that was in all black, he was defending them. He was defending the original guy because the comments on the original video did get way disrespectful. Because it is one of those things where people, like, as soon as he made the first statement, people just went in and they didn't hear anything else that he said past that. If that person that you're with fits, you would just have to choose somebody who fits your lifestyle. So yeah, if you're more health conscious based or whatever, then no, don't go and get, someone who got a little extra, of course they're not, you can't make somebody fit into your lifestyle. You just got to find somebody who was just going down the same road as you. Just don't be, for everybody, just be respectful. Like, just keep it even.
I'm glad you brought some context to that because I want to say something real quick. But DJ says white men don't say it publicly, but their women know not to let themselves go. But I don't agree with that guy either. Tasha, you're gonna represent the Caucasoids.
I gotta bring a white side now.
Bring your white side to this.
Okay,
because
got
in all seriousness, you've dated white men.
Yes.
And you are mixed. Is that the case? White men don't say it publicly, but the women know not to let themselves go. Is that part true?
No, I don't think that they say it publicly, no, but it's not like this whole they know not to let themselves go. That's not really true. It's just kind of like it kind of falls by the wayside once they're in a relationship. Like it's not, it's not there's not so much emphasis on it, like as far as like social media for the majority part. Of course, you're still going to have those that are exceptions to the rules and different things like that still want to have like the perfect picture. You fit into like their perfect family or whatever, but it's just one of those things that isn't as heavily focused on.
Okay. And I'll close out by saying this, since you brought context to why the guy was saying what he said. I too have my standards. and those are not up for discussion. I like what I like.
Mhm.
I personally am not attracted to overweight women. That's coming from a fat man, and this is all in all seriousness. Now I'm realistic. I don't necessarily think anymore I can go out there and pick up the baddest bitch, but I know what I like body shape wise. It is what it is. Look, I would fuck anybody, because if I'm horny, I might, the light's gonna be out, so I don't give a shit. But I'm talking about if I'm gonna be with somebody, to in that dating scenario, I have a type too, and that's all across the spectrum. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like even if I date white, I'm not gonna fuck with a white woman just because she's white. She's still got to be attractive. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If she's Asian, she needs to kind of have a black body. That whole skinny, just straight down. I can't do shit with that. You know what I'm saying? And then even with black women, notice I'm an equal opportunity offender. I'm sorry, but even black women, I've come a whole full circle. This old extra big ass booty stuff, it's too much. I want a natural built body. I was literally looking at BMF the other night, and Lala, Anthony, what she's done is she's ruined herself to me.
You think so? She's still fine to me, bro. But she probably has done a little too much. Now that you
when they go overboard, this
Yeah.
whole extra large, it's too much for me now, and I crave a natural woman now. In so many different ways. The extra, it's too much for me. And I've come 20 years ago. I would have wanted all that. I just want a regular looking woman with a regular shape. She can have a little, all serious now, a little bit of stomach, whatever. Titties you don't have to bounce a quarter off your ass and titties. Just let them be halfway real.
Man, I saw some tiger stripes on I was on Instagram scrolling. I saw one with some tiger stripes. I damn near did a cartwheel in my living room after I saw the tiger stripes.
You know what I'm saying?
Made me feel some type of way. I was like, oh, tiger stripes, love them.
DJ say Lala cold black, but Lamar's ex is bad.
Yeah.
She's still attractive, but her shape doesn't look natural to me anymore. Yeah, and she had a sex scene. I just watched this last night. No, so let's don't get it twisted. I will stuff myself deep up in that pussy. But I'm just saying, as a keeper, she just don't do it for me. She don't do it for me now. What I was thinking about this last night? There's no little side note because I'm gonna move on to the next one. You know who I'm absolutely bona fide in love with, and she's my type in every possible way. I got caught up watching YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. Jessica Reedy. That's my type. Everything about Jessica Reedy. Pull her up. She's a gospel singer.
Oh, the gospel singer. Yeah.
I love everything about that woman. I love everything.
Oh, you trying to get saved, sanctified, and filled with the Holy Ghost?
Nah, his ass gonna burst into flames. That's what's gonna happen.
Well, Jessica. If I met Jessica Reedy could make me halfway do right out here. Kiana says, hello all, I'm late, but just saying hi. Glad I got to see you all. It's been a minute for me now. I can get back to being here more. That's what's up, baby girl.
That's what's up. What's
baby
up,
girl.
Kiana?
I appreciate you popping in, sweetheart. And she Kiana, she know what's up, baby. Yeah, you still got the goods. But okay, let me move on.
Here we go.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Yeah. All right, so let's move on to what the ladies say.
Did you make that call, Jack? Black Cuckoo? Did you make that call?
Yana, tell them about that call.
What have I started? You know what? Let me stop.
Okay, so more dating advice for women. Let's see. Here we go now.
3 things that ladies are getting wrong when they're messing with men. Let's get to it. Ladies, your dating life up to this point may have been trash, but don't worry. I am just some random dude, but I do got the sauce. Let's go. Number 1, you be too available. You always hitting up this man's phone. You always hitting this man line. Every time he asks you to do something, you drop everything you got going on to do it. You getting way too attached, way too early. Give him a little room to desire you. Number 2, stop pressuring this man into a relationship. Just because you like him doesn't mean he has to like you yet. I'm not saying let the man run you around for months, but give it a little bit of time. Good things take time to develop. Number 3, you're making this man the center of your life. A man likes a woman who has her own shit going on. 3.
Okay. This is a brother giving women some advice, baby girl. What do you think about the advice that he handed out for women? Tasha, I want you to go first.
I liked what he said. I don't disagree with it at all, and I think we did kind of touch on this earlier, that I do think it is that way, that not keeping your options open, going too hard too fast, not even really knowing like if it's even a real relationship, just 0 to 100. So I agree with what he said.
Okay. And he talked about being too available, not putting pressure, and what was the third one? Making a man the center of your
universe. Yeah.
Okay. Brother Kenny, what do you think about the advice he doled out to the women?
I think it was valid. The only thing I will say, you have to here's the thing that dating that I've noticed. It's a go game in dating. You can do that, but you still have to put forth an effort to show that you're interested in a man. If you follow a lot of that, if a man is interested in you and you're doing some of the things he just said, that man is going to fall back because he's going to feel like that the interest isn't mutual. And I can attest to agree. It don't take much for me to fall back. If I feel like it's not being reciprocated, you're not interested. So I agree with what he said, but you really got to be careful because the interest level, he may not feel like you're interested, and then he's going to fall back. And then you're going to be like, damn, I kind of played myself a little bit,
I love that, and I agree with you 1,000%. I think that's the fine line that you have to know how to walk. What he said on the surface was absolutely true because, again, going back to the relationships that I've been in, I don't like a needy woman. I damn sure don't like to feel pressured, and I am more attracted to a woman that's got her own shit going on, so that I'm not the center of her world. As a man, I need to be the chaser, the hunter. That's for me. Now, I don't know if that still stands with guys these days. I don't know. But I love what he said. But to your point, Kenny, in order for me to chase you now, don't run so far ahead and to where I lose the scent. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Right. So you gotta give me enough to keep me coming. So once again, I married my wife because she wouldn't give it up. She went up to the line and said, that's it. So if I wanted to get behind that curtain, I had to commit. And it was similar with other women that I was in a serious relationship with, that they let me go to a certain point. So I knew they were interested, to your point, Kenny, but at the same time, they had me on a hook to a point too, where, to get the whole enchilada, I had, they had to make me think there had to be some sense that I could lose this person too.
Right. Right.
And so they played it perfectly. So I think for women out there, it's a fine line. But I love what you said, Kenny. Now don't get it twisted. Don't take on a persona out here that, I'm just gonna chase you, because the numbers are not in your favor. You know what I'm saying? So it's a fine line.
This is the analogy I always tell women. You remember dogs who likes to chase cars. If that certain car would come through, they would keep chasing that car. After a while, if they chase their car, they're gonna chase another one. I always tell women it's cool to do that, but eventually that dog gonna chase another car if you keep turning that corner at the same time.
Absolutely.
So, anyway,
absolutely. That's the fine line that you have to really think about. Absolutely. All right, let's get another one in here for men. We're gonna take a quick another one. All right, let's see what this brother has to say.
But then I met a man and he respected me. He treated me well. He raised my kids.
It's videos like this that make me really hope people open their eyes a little bit more when it comes to conversations like this. Because let's be completely honest, I'm pretty sure most women, or at least the ones that I know who have children, don't intend to be single. And yes, they may have chosen the wrong dude to have that first baby with, but best believe they typically will learn their lesson and will try to find a better man. But you know how society works. Society just wants you to stay in that same dark place where you have to relive those same emotional traumas over and over again. You can't really elevate from it. That's why I'm a firm believer in being a stepdaddy. Because it's not even just about the kids. It's also about showing that woman what a healthy, loving relationship could be like. Some people will call a man a simp. Some people will call a man a beta. But you know what I call those people? Worry about the wrong shit. As I'm concerned, every woman deserves to be in a happy, thriving relationship. And if I can give that to her and her children, by all means, so be it. Even the best people we know make mistakes sometimes, but they all deserve the opportunity to redeem themselves. Y'all have a good day.
But then I met a man and he respected me. He treated me well. He raised my kids.
I wanted y'all to see that first part again because I thought that was important. What does anybody want to say about that? The context, from what I'm gathering, she started off by single mothers get blamed no matter what, and then this guy went in and talked about how they make mistakes. Every woman needs to be in a healthy relationship, and certainly for him, he don't have a problem taking on the role of stepdaddy, and that's how he feels. And he says at one point that he think most women they don't. Even with kids, they want somebody else. So okay, what do you guys think?
This is a doozy, in my opinion. I would say on the surface, I think single mothers do catch a lot of heat when it comes to the choices that they made, far as having making babies with men that may not have stepped up to the plate. But I always say it's not all their fault. Now, some people would say what this brother was doing, that he's a pick me. That's the new word now. He's a pick me, from what he was saying. Like, well, I can be that guy. That I ain't got a problem with that, and that's cool if that's his choice. I think, man, if you find a woman that y'all connect and she have children, and y'all end up having just a love, and you end up loving her children, so be it. I mean, that's even beautiful. Just go with what you feel. You ain't got that. Don't make you no hero if you feel like you saving a single woman from herself. Just say, hey, I'm cool with being the stepdad. If I love this woman, I know she's a package deal, and that's what I'm gonna do. But don't make it seem like men that may not want to do that. Don't make it seem like they bad dudes if they want to deal with a woman that has children, by different men or whatever. So I don't know. Again, that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
Very, very complex. Tasha, what do you say on this?
From the initial question, I think that there's levels to it, and what people could be referring to, like, do single mothers get blamed for a lot of things? If you're a single mother, and if you're having multiple kids with multiple different men, and they all ain't shit, and then you come behind, and then you have this long list of demands of what you want in a relationship. I think that's often what is getting referred to, but because of the generalization, some people that it doesn't apply to, they feel like they still have to speak out for it. If you want to be with someone who has kids, great, fine, that's fantastic, and you understand what's going to come with it, okay. But I do think that it's just, now everything is about just putting each other down and then trying to build oneself up. I mean, I don't know. And then again, I feel like on the other side too, just always wanting to be a victim and not take accountability for the decisions that you made. So it's a hard one. And I wish I had seen like the original clip to see even in more, because I know like Keita, to me, sometimes she always be going like on a tangent and just be going hard for no reason.
Ooh, you nailed so much of so many good points in there for me. It's definitely complex, and the views I'm going to share is mine and mine alone. And I'm trying not to speak in stereotypes and generalizations, like you said, Tasha. But this is it's definitely layered in so many ways. But I'm gonna start where you talked about taking accountability for the decisions that you make. In my personal opinion, where we are when it comes to birth control, contraceptives, and things like that, I think we make a conscious choice every time we decide to fuck. We're accountable for our actions, men and women. Men and women. This is not only on the woman to the burden shouldn't fall completely on her to be protected and this and that. As a man, if I lay down and I have unprotected sex, I'm opening myself up for the possibility of what could happen. Having said that, I am not going to be the one to have to bear the children. I'm not going to have to carry that. You know, whether that's fair or not, that's the reality. You know, I can walk away. My body's not going to go through any changes. The final decision is not going to be mine to make. So whether it's fair or not, as a woman, you have, unfortunately, to make a different level of accountability because you're the ones that's going to have to be going through that. And so I like what you said, Tasha, about having multiple kids from multiple different people. There comes to a point where what time are you going to accept responsibility for the bad decisions you've made by continuing to bring children into this world in a situation that's unhealthy? Now, all of a sudden, you want a knight in shining armor to fly through and overlook all of that. I can't. I'm speaking for me. For me, I've told people this 1,000 times. My head is stronger than my heart. I could be attracted to you. I might want some of that pussy. But me taking on that extra layer of responsibility to walk in and to take over and I can't do it. I'm at that place in my life where for me, I can't do. Number one, I don't like children anyway, you know, at this stage of my life. So that's a whole nother thing, you know. But just even the other part of it. And so fair or not, blame has to go around, you know. And to me, at some point, take some responsibility for some of the decisions you made, because you have one child, you know, okay, you know, anything can happen. You got two, you know. Oh, I made a bad mistake again. When you start getting 3 and 4, let's start calling it what it is at that point, you know. And I'm not, but now to his point, I'm not saying that woman doesn't deserve happiness. But to me, there has to be a point now where you have to start bringing a little reality into it and maybe bringing down your standard, because if you're still expecting that because you're still attractive and you still got your body, but I got 3, 4 kids, that this guy's supposed to ignore all of that and put them. No, he doesn't owe you that, you know. So maybe you need to start being a little bit more realistic as well. So that one really is complex. Now, blaming her for everything, no, I don't say that, you know. But then Tasha knows this about me too. We all this generation has too much victim mentality as well, you know, and that I don't like, you know. Now, this whole pick me kind of thing, I'm gonna go back. People like what they like. If you, as a man, want to take on that responsibility, bravo. I applaud you. It couldn't be me. You know, it couldn't be me. But bravo.
A lot of this could also be resolved by having just that simple conversation on the front end. Like if you're going out to eat with somebody, or if it's a first date or whatever, you know, and if it's something as simple as, you know, like, what would you do? Do you believe in abortion? What are your views on abortion? What would you do if, you know, I got pregnant? Like what do you think? Is that something that you're ready for right now? Or even as a woman, like, look, I'm not trying to have any more kids, okay? Period.
Right.
If I get pregnant, I'm gonna take care of it. Don't you worry about it.
But you're right.
Right. You're right. That conversation
right,
needs to
Tasha.
be had. Yeah.
And I don't think that's happening. I think some people view that as, you know, I ain't gonna tell all of that. So that you open that door, Tasha, you're right. It's amazing how you're willing to, via text or whatever, discuss how deep I can stuff my dick down your throat, but you don't want to tell me or discuss something serious as to, well, I also have 3 kids and 3 baby daddies that if you get involved with me, this is that and the other. You know, those are the conversation after you finish eating the steak and the lobster and, you know, going out to the various movies and whatnot. At some point, you should be having those serious conversations about if and what will happen if, you know, where we going. Absolutely. And then not just on the woman, on the man too. You owe it to her. If you are dating that woman and you know she has kids, but you know you have no intention of stepping up into a serious relationship, you owe it to her to tell her that too, that this is just fucking.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. On both ends. You're right.
And take all the necessary precautions, because if you just steer, you want to, you know, even if it is, I even say the conversation needs to be had, even if it is a smash and dash. Like, look, you got protections, you want birth control, you know, like if you get pregnant, or here, bitch, take this pill, anything, you know, like something.
I agree.
It needs to be had. It needs to be said. So if you mess with Fertile Myrtle, then you know, like, okay, if you sneeze on her, she might get pregnant.
Right.
Exactly. And that's why, again, I don't even have women over who got kids. I don't want you to even get comfortable thinking that this is a place where they can come and play. Google Gaga hell ain't shit in here for no kids. There's no room for them, you know. So they're never gonna see the inside of my place because I don't want that response. I don't have goldfish. That's how selfish I am. So if I don't have the responsibility to feed goldfish, I damn sure don't like having to buy cereal for no fucking kids.
Oh,
you know?
Wait a minute, having goldfish means that you.
I'm trying to correlate goldfish and kids.
You gotta feed them motherfuckers. At some point, you gotta clean out their bowl. You gotta feed them. I don't want to clean up not even a fish's shit.
Regular goldfish. I'm thinking about like the crackers.
No, he talking about the real goldfish, the swimming goldfish.
Like the crackers, like
no. I would be a horrible pet owner. So I don't put myself in that situation. And so again, I don't want a little human that's dependent upon me. When I go to the grocery store, I love being selfish as fuck. Every aisle I walk down, I'm looking for something for me and me alone. I don't want to buy formula. Pampers? Are you fucking kidding me? Hell no. Whatever that shit you be mixing up to make them kids milk or whatever the fuck you have to milk for.
Similac.
You know, I'm not doing none of that.
Yeah.
I don't want my money going towards any of that, you know? Yeah. So no. So
we just stressed you out.
Yeah. It is, it's very stressful being single. That, like I say, the last show, this one, it really reveals there's so many different things about myself in particular that I have to get straight in my own self. I'm working on me. I'm so working on me. But anyway, we're going to stop here in the interest of time. We went over just about 15 minutes. I got a she says, you love my baby, but she grown now. She's in college. LOL. So it's date time. Tasha, baby land, it goes. And I tell you that from the first real talk we have, I want the rest of my money. LOL. You will cook me dinner. I need to eat. Baby, you know I got you. Now I do. I love your baby. You know, I love a little bit, and she's grown now. So baby, you free now. And you know how we do it. We can stay in bed and eat and fuck. So you know how that goes. So I got you.
Oh wow! Well, that's a hell of a way to end the show, right there.
There you go.
Anyway, thank you guys for spending a little bit of Saturday with us. But look at the energy where we started from and how it picks up. This is why I do love this show. I love seeing you guys. Look,
Yeah, I love
it's
seeing you
called Real
guys
Talk
too.
because it's real life. And when we show up, we all got things going on a serious note in the background, and we've dealt with a week. I thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for showing up. Brother Kenny, man, this is my brother right here.
Man, you
This
just
man is
don't
doing
know.
big, big, big things. Kenny, tell him he's already hit his bucket list for his show, but it don't stop there.
It don't stop
What I
there.
love
Yeah,
about
I
you
appreciate
is you're posting. You've gotten better and better and better at it. So tell everybody where they can find you to support you, my brother, and so you
Yeah.
can keep that train moving.
Yeah, it's under the TFG network, just like you can find Black and Tasha on under the TFG network, Real Talk for Real Men. But I'm TFG Sports Media. You can find it on YouTube and on Facebook. You subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you like and follow. Yeah, I'm over 1,000 subscribers, man. I built that thing from the ground up, man. I'm at 1,020 subscribers. But I'm not really I ain't monetized yet because I got to get my watch hours up. So I need you guys to come over there. Watch some of the videos. I know sports ain't for everybody. It's a sports head. I'm a sports guy, and I get it. But just come watch some of the videos. It's some interesting stuff. I did a story on a quarterback from Oklahoma. His name is General Booty. His name, and actually that was one of my favorite ones because I did a lot of play on words with his name.
General Booty.
So go to TFG Sports Media.
I gotta go look at the damn story.
I did a story on a kid named General Booty. He's a quarterback in Oklahoma. But yeah, just go and subscribe to Kendrick Sports Hustle. I have my own sports too. I'm at 620 subscribers on there. I'm almost, I just got to get the watch hours so I can get monetized. So subscribe to there too and get TFG Sports, TFG TV. You can find us doing all that. So man, I'm a sports guy at heart, but I talk about a whole lot of stuff. So I appreciate the love, man. And this show is therapy for me because, man, let me tell you, the last 3 years of my life has been a roller coaster. So when I come on and see my fam, see my brother up here, my Capricorn brother, and my beautiful sister in Memphis, the pimp, Miss Tasha, man, this is therapy for me. Real talk. It gives me an hour and a half or 2 hours to get away from a lot of stuff that that I'm still trying to recover from. So I much love, and I'm supporting all Black folks. So I'm gonna support.
I love you, my brother.
Always, I'm support Tasha, whatever. So anyway, yeah, y'all come to TFG Sports Media, check us out. Come watch some of them videos. Believe me, I will keep you entertained.
And I thank you for support. And Tasha, again, people don't know Tasha do this for me. This is not her thing.
I know she do.
This is not her thing, but consistently, and again, this is a single individual who holding her household down, working, got 2 pets, she got bills and responsibilities like everybody else, and then she make it look easy, but the struggle ain't easy behind the scenes. I know how shit cost her. She have repairs on her vehicles and her pets and shit like everybody else, and she got to do it on her own. Antoine, I love you for supporting the show, my brother.
Appreciate you, Antoine. And yeah, come on, subscribe, brother. Check me out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I thank everybody for popping in. Yana, I read your message wrong. You said I want the rest of my money. Will you cook me dinner? Baby, the holidays is past. So now the boyfriend, you can sneak away. You said, will I cook you dinner? I will absolutely cook you dinner. You want to eat? I want to eat too. I haven't eaten any pussy in a long time. So that's an open invitation to you. And so until then, everybody be good and have a rest of good of your weekend. Keep it real.
Bye. Get off here.
I'm out.